If you've been sprinkling garlic into your dinner and calling it a day, you may be walking right past one of the simplest evening habits for supporting comfortable digestion, steady energy, and a calmer night's sleep after 50. Quick reminder, this video is for educational purposes only, so always check with your doctor before changing your routine. Here's what almost nobody talks about. The exact same clove of garlic behaves differently depending on when you eat it. Eaten at noon, it's competing with a busy digestive system, a rushing metabolism, and a body focused on staying alert. Eaten in the evening, it enters a completely different environment, one where your body has already shifted into repair mode. This is the idea behind chrononutrition, the study of how timing changes the way food is used by the body. And when it comes to garlic, timing may matter more than almost any other habit you've overlooked. Tonight, we're walking through what happens, system by system, when garlic is eaten in the hours before bed, and why researchers who study aging adults keep circling back to this window as a particularly favorable one. Stick around, because the final connection we cover, the one tying garlic to your body's overnight repair engine, is the reason this small habit tends to matter more the further past 50 you get. Before we get into it, if this is useful to you, consider subscribing. We're building a community focused on simple, evidence-informed habits for people who want to feel steady, capable, and clear-headed as they age. And every subscriber helps this channel keep going. Let's start with digestion. In the evening, your gut slows its pace, which sounds like a bad thing, but is actually an opportunity. A slower gut means more time for garlic's natural compounds to be broken down gradually rather than all at once. Nutrition researchers note this gentler release may support easier digestion overnight and a lighter feeling upon waking, compared to garlic eaten quickly alongside a large midday meal. Next, the liver. Much of your liver's cleanup work ramps up while you sleep, and garlic happens to be rich in sulfur-containing compounds that your liver's own enzymes rely on. Supplying these compounds in the evening may give your liver more raw material right when its nightly workload is highest, supporting its ongoing role in processing what you've taken in throughout the day. Then there's blood sugar. Overnight swings in blood sugar are something many people over 50 don't even realize they're experiencing. Some early research on garlic suggests it may support blood sugar responses already within a normal range, particularly when eaten alongside your evening meal. For a body that's working to maintain metabolic balance, that kind of gentle, steady support can matter. From here, we move into inflammation and joint comfort, an area where nighttime timing seems especially relevant. Sleep is when the body's natural anti-inflammatory rhythms are most active, and garlic's sulfur compounds are believed to work alongside these rhythms. Some studies on aging adults have found associations between regular garlic intake and reports of easier movement and less stiffness in the morning, which many attribute to this overnight window of lower background inflammation. Your cardiovascular system gets its own quiet moment overnight too, as heart rate and blood pressure naturally ease. Garlic has been studied for its role in supporting the production of nitric oxide, a compound involved in relaxed, open blood vessels and smoother circulation. Taken in the evening, it may offer this support right as your circulatory system is settling into its own nightly rhythm. Some nutrition experts describe this as giving your heart a gentle assist during the very hours it's already trying to slow down and recover, rather than asking it to process a heavy compound load during the busiest part of your day. There's also a quieter connection worth mentioning here, one that touches your stress response. Evening routines that feel calming and intentional, even something as small as preparing a bit of garlic with your last meal, are associated in some research with a smoother transition into rest. While garlic itself isn't a sedative, supporting a settled digestive and cardiovascular state in the evening may make it easier for the rest of your body's wind-down signals to do their job without competing demands pulling in different directions. Your immune system, meanwhile, is far from resting. It uses these quiet hours to review the day's exposures and carry out its own maintenance work. Garlic has long been studied for its immune-supportive properties, and some researchers believe an evening dose provides these compounds right as immune activity is ramping up for its nightly rounds. Down in your gut microbiome, garlic acts as a kind of fuel for the beneficial bacteria that call your digestive tract home, while its natural compounds may help keep less favorable bacteria in check. Since your microbiome does much of its own overnight reorganizing while you sleep, an evening dose lines up with this internal schedule in a way that daytime garlic simply doesn't. There's also a lesser-known connection between garlic and circulation to your smallest blood vessels, the ones that feed your nerves. Poor circulation here is linked to that cold hands, tingling feet sensation many people notice as they age. By supporting healthy blood flow overnight, garlic may help ensure these smaller vessels stay nourished, which some researchers link to steadier nerve function over time. Fluid retention is another quiet frustration for a lot of people over 50, whether it shows up as puffiness in the morning or mild swelling in the ankles by evening. Because so much of this comes down to low-grade inflammation rather than excess salt alone, garlic's anti-inflammatory properties may play a supporting role here as well, helping the body manage fluid more comfortably rather than forcefully flushing it out. And finally, the benefit that ties everything together: cellular repair. Sleep is when your body carries out the majority of its maintenance work, and sulfur, garlic's signature compound, is a key building block for glutathione, often described as the body's master antioxidant. As natural glutathione production tends to decline with age, supplying sulfur-rich foods like garlic in the evening may offer your body extra raw material, right, when repair processes are working hardest. This is why many researchers who study aging see nighttime garlic not as a trend, but as a small, sensible addition to a long-term wellness routine. So how do you actually do this? Keep it simple. 1/2 to 1 small clove, finely chopped, left to sit for 5 to 10 minutes before eating so its compounds can fully activate. Stir it into a spoonful of yogurt, a small evening salad, or a light dressing rather than eating it completely raw and unaccompanied, which can be harsh on some stomachs. 2 to 4 evenings a week is typically plenty. More isn't necessarily better, and daily use without any breaks may lead to digestive irritation for some people. A few small details make a noticeable difference. Chopping or crushing the clove rather than swallowing it whole allows its beneficial compounds to fully form. Pairing it with a little healthy fat, like a drizzle of olive oil, may support how well those compounds are absorbed. And spacing it away from the very last bite before lights out, rather than eating it in the final minutes before bed, tends to be more comfortable for most people's digestion. A word of caution before we close. If you live with stomach ulcers, significant acid reflux, or you're taking prescription blood thinners, garlic's natural compounds can interact with these conditions and medications in ways that matter. So this is a conversation to have with your doctor before adding it to your evening routine. Being a natural food doesn't mean it's without real biological effects. If you found this useful, tap that subscribe button and hit the bell so you don't miss what we cover next. We genuinely love to know, have you ever tried eating garlic in the evening, and did you notice anything different?